So, as you mentioned, you're 21, you're undefeated at the moment. You're finishing everyone you fight.
We can't say my MMA, my wrestling is here, my jiu-jitsu is here, my striking is here, my cardio is here, but my mental game is right here. I don't know what, but I always see myself as a champion. Not today, not tomorrow, not in this year, but I see myself in UFC as a champion. A lot of people don't. A lot of people tough, but they don't see themselves as a champion.
Now, let's go to the second part of the interview.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be about your pro career. So, as you mentioned, you're 21, you're undefeated at the moment. You're finishing everyone you fight. Sorry?
I'm trying to. I'm fighting with this idea like I have to finish. I have to finish.
What do you think has been the key to your dominance so far? Because you're pretty dominant in every fight you have.
It's a mental game. It's a mental game. Every time when I go to weigh-ins, uh, I mean, I don't want to like hype out myself or I don't want to talk shit about anyone. But every time when I go to weigh-ins and I see my opponent's face, I see his eyes. I don't know how, but I'm good at reading people, you know. And I always tell my family like, hey, I'm gonna dominate this guy. I know he's weaker than me. My mental game is strong. We can't say my MMA, my wrestling is here, my jiu-jitsu is here, my striking is here, my cardio is here, but my mental game is right here. Like sometimes I feel like I'm stronger mentally than anyone in UFC. 90% of UFC guys, I definitely mentally stronger. I always keep this in mind. I won't give up, and no matter what, I'm just gonna grind harder.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you also, I think, fight with a maturity that somebody your I wouldn't say shouldn't have, because those days there's a lot of people starting really young fighting, but at
Yeah,
21 you're showing a lot of maturity. How you fight, like you're calm, also you're not rushing, you're not forcing anything.
yeah.
Where those that composure comes,
What do you mean?
like when you're fighting, you're always so calm, so
Yeah.
confident in your strengths and abilities. Where does that come from?
You mean, well, I don't really know how to answer that question. I feel like it comes from a fighting style of one of the UFC fighters. I was watching him and I start trying to do the pretty much the same game plan. And I noticed this, I don't want to get hit, you know? So yeah, it just come from one of the pretty old UFC fighters, and he didn't really get hit. So I was like, okay, I want to be like this guy, you know, I don't want to get hit, so I have to be calm. And also, everything comes from here.
Yeah. And what would you say is the biggest difference between who you were when you started as a pro and who you are right now?
Biggest difference
Yeah.
when I started, I never had an idea that I'm gonna be a professional fighter, and right now I'm a professional fighter. So mm,
And
before I had a dream, now I have a goal. You know, that's the only difference.
all right. But also, what's the improvement you made between, let's say, your first pro fight was Jamal 1.0, and now you're Jamal 10.0. What's the difference between those two, Jamal?
A lot of difference. There's a lot of difference. My first profile was I won't say tough, but it was a little bit harder mentally. Everything was just a little bit different, you know, because this is a pro arena. Now I have to take care of my record. This is not something that, oh, if I lose, nobody cares. Everybody cares about your lose. If you lose, it can like set you back for like a year or something.
Yeah.
So it was difficult mentally. And yeah, every fight I improve my striking game, I improve my wrestling. From first fight, I got to improve so much better. My cardio got so much better. My wrestling got so much better. Yeah.
And that's good that you mentioned your skill set, because I think your wrestling and jiu-jitsu is pretty much expected, I would say. You're known also as a submission artist.
Yeah.
Would you say that your striking is being a bit overlooked?
No, what do you mean by overlook?
like that people are not seeing you as a complete martial artist, but mostly as a grappler wrestler.
I actually, yes, some people, I would say most of the people think that my striking is better than my wrestling, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a striker," but they always forget that thing that I used to wrestle. I used to wrestle when I was 16, as in the junior college too. When I moved here, I used to wrestle with the Cougars team. I didn't compete, but I used to wrestle with them. So my wrestling is actually good, but a lot of people thinks like, oh, his wrestling is not that good. He's just a striker, you know, or his jujitsu is not that good. Because I don't, to be honest, I don't even have a belt in jujitsu. I
Mm.
mean, I do have a belt, but I received my blue belt in like 3 days after starting jujitsu. So it was pretty fast. I don't have a belt in jiu-jitsu, like high belt, but it doesn't mean shit. I still can submit brown belts, I submit black belts, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also you have other, let's say, a ground game sport. Let's say like you have grappling, which no gi, like you don't have a belt, so you can be really experienced and only have a
Yeah,
white belt or a blue belt. Doesn't mean a lot.
that's right. That's what one time one of the guys came to our gym. He was from Chicago or something. I don't remember his name. He was a black belt, and he was trying to teach me something and blah blah blah, like, which I respect really. Even if you're a black belt, purple belt, whatever, belt does not matter for me at all. One of my coaches, my jiu-jitsu coach, and also my head coach in MMA, Fabiano Schorner, he always says that belt just to hold your gi. And if you have black belt or white belt, it's just holding your gi. That's it. It's not helping you in MMA, you know? And always in MMA, I fought black belt Josh Ramirez. After I took him down, I was like, he had really, really good triangles, arm bars. And I was like, well, after I hit him once, his stripe went down. After I hit him twice, he started being a brown belt, purple belt, and I love his jiu-jitsu, the minimum. So back to this story, this guy from Chicago came to our gym for like a week or something. He was trying to teach me something, and I was like, yeah, that's good, that's cool. And then we start grappling, and I choke his ass, and then I submit him again, and he's like, what belt are you? And I'm like, I'm a blue belt. He was like, what the fuck? Yeah, belt does not matter at all. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean if you I'll still expect some pressure, you know.
yeah. Like Islam Makhachev would say, it's Sambo is really good against jiu-jitsu.
That that's true. I agree with that.
um, we have those last years see a lot of young guys like from your generation, I would say, that started really young into MMA, that master the whole spectrum of MMA, grappling, striking, etc., that are hungry and taking over. What sets you apart from that generation? What is the difference from between you and these other guys?
Um, what is the difference between me and this guys? The difference is I'm the I'm the only one. I feel like I'm the only one. I'm the only one who has something, you know? I don't know what, but I always see myself as a champion. Not today, not tomorrow, not in this year, but I see myself in UFC as a champion. A lot of people don't. A lot of people tough, but they don't see themselves as a champion. So I'm just different, you know? There's no one of my style. There's no one that faster than me. And my style is a little weird, you know, which makes me different.
Yeah, you're a bit unorthodox, I would say. When I watch your fights, I was like, yeah, when you start the fight, you like in in sort of how do you call that? Like you're setting a slow rhythm, but you can take over really fast. That's pretty disturbing, I would say, fighting
Yeah,
against somebody like that.
it's again, it's all right. It's about mental games. Sometimes I feel like, oh, if I put a lot of pressure in the first 2 minutes, I can break this guy. And sometimes I feel like, hey, this guy's pretty confident. Let's give him a chance to spot. My last fight, everybody thinks like, oh, I got taken down only once. Guy was two-time national champion in the wrestling, and he took me down only once, and I took him down once. So again, when one and one. So I won't say my wrestling is bad. And because of this takedown, I got a lot of hate. Like, oh, Jamal got taken down, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. That wasn't my game plan. I like people feel confident in something, even in a sparring. Sometimes you come to sparring, and you see like if I spar with some amateur guy, and I show them, I let them touch me, and they touch me with something, and I'm like, and they feel confident. They come up more open, and that's the way when you can pick your shot, you know. So yeah, sometimes I let people feel confident in striking or in wrestling. Sometimes you have to give up to get even more, you know,
Hmm.
efficient to get a choke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so you mentioned that's a good thing you mentioned yourself as a champion in the UFC. So basically, the main goal for you is UFC. Nothing, no organization beyond that. But do you feel like you want to get there as fast as possible, or does it matter to you the when you're gonna be in the UFC, or will it come when it will come?
it's a very difficult question for me. Sometimes right now at this point I'm all five finishes, 10-0 win streak. And I'm like, damn, I know I can fight in UFC right now and fight top 15 guys. I know that. But there's always space to improve, obviously. And I don't know, man. One day I woke up and I'm like, I have to be in UFC in the next 3 months. And one day I'm like, I'm only 21. Maybe I should take my time. And my coach always one time my coach told me this thing back in the amateur career. He told me, "Do you prefer to be in a UFC champion, 28 years old, 20 fight wins, no zero defeats, or you prefer to be a UFC champion, 27 years old, 25 wins, 5 defeats? There's only 1 year different or 6 months different. Which one would you pick?" And I'm like, well, definitely want to pick the undefeated one, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to be undefeated, of course. And he's like, well, there you go. You have to take your time. But anyways, if opportunity comes tomorrow, I'll be more than happy. If it's going to be end of this year, I mean, I'll take that. Yeah, I won't say no.
Yeah, it's pretty good advice, I would say, from a coach. Like, I mean, obviously you're pretty young, even though you have crazy experience. But I mean, sometimes we saw fighters coming in too quick, and it was maybe too soon. But I think I see you getting there as well. You're now into LFA. LFA is a good entry to UFC. So I'm pretty sure if you still piling up victories at LFA, it will be a quick way into the UFC. What are so we passed the first quarter of 2025. What are your goals for the rest of the year?
Definitely staying active. Get maybe 3 more fights in the best case scenario. I mean, to be honest, I got a conversation with my manager yesterday, and I told him like, man, I want to fight 5 times this year. I fight once. I have 4 more fights, so definitely 4 fights. But if it's three, I'll take it. But I want to stay active. 3 fights as a minimum. I picked 3 fights as a minimum this year, and I mean, there's a thing, contender series coming in August, and I'm thinking like, well, maybe this is the chance because back in 2024, I went to UFC Noche, and I got so excited, man. I met a lot of fighters, and I took a picture and I posted, and I said like 2025 Noche with me in a car, and that's the reason why I wear a UFC Noche shirt today, because it's 2025 and I have to be in the car.
Yeah, that's a feasible thing. If you actually fight in the contender series, it's possible that in September you would be on the card. That would make sense.
Yep, yep.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Staying active, I think, is really important. Like you say, you're young, you need to keep busy. Um, what's the big picture for you? Like, how do you see? Do you have a career plan, or does it, like you say, you'd like to stay undefeated and UFC champion? Do you have also those dreams, or like being a two-weight category champ, or does it matter to you?
At this point, right now, I want to be a UFC champion first of all. And I mean, I've thought about second belt, of course, being like as my I would say idols, like the George St. Pierre, two belts. Yeah, of course, this is a dream, but at this point, I'm trying to be more realistic. And first of all, one belt.
Yeah, one belt in the UFC and undefeated, right?
And undefeated, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Um, does it also, do you feel proud that you kind of also representing your roots on a big stage like the US?
Of course, man. It's something. Yeah, I always, I will say, I don't fight for myself. I fight for my people. Because there's literally no that much of a Turkish fighters.
Which is pretty weird because Turkish community is pretty good in fighting. Like I mean, you have great kickboxers, you have good wrestlers, so it's pretty weird that we don't see more Turkish athletes, at least in the UFC. Well, we see some in other organizations in Europe, but yeah,
Yeah. Guys, the government in Turkey, they don't sponsor MMA at all. So if you want to be fighter, you have to pay for everything. Any competition, you have to pay. So that's why we don't even have federation right now. I mean, we just recently started getting the amateur team, like national team, but it's only like 3 or 4 people. So I feel like Turkey just starting like coming out with MMA. But even in UFC right now, we have only Ibo Aslan, heavyweight, and he's the only one.
yeah.
Back in it, we had Gokhan
Okay,
Saki,
so-
but yeah, he didn't do well, but still he has been in the UFC. And the first one, it's Ansar Chalandov. Yeah, he's my uncle, and well, he was the first. And you see, we didn't really have wins in UFC. And I want to talk about champions. We didn't have wins in UFC, so I have to be the one who's gonna bring wins and the belt to Turkey.
would be pretty amazing to be honest. I wish you that. um, if you could send a message to your division right now, what would it be?
Don't underestimate me. I'll be there very, very soon, and just be ready.
All right. Also, last question. So we already mentioned what you'd like in terms of legacy, but is it also something that stays in your mind to be remembered as one of the best in the game, like being an Hall of Famer and all that?
Of course, yes. I definitely gonna be remembered for my community, for like Turkish people. Definitely gonna be remembered even if I even if I won't make it to UFC, or if I'm gonna make it to UFC and not gonna do well, I'm gonna be remembered because we don't really have fighters. And even right now, I'm pretty known in the Turkish community. So, but I want to be remembered for the whole entire world. And yeah, definitely, I want to be one of the. I want to stay in the same line with this George St. Pierre, Khabib, every single one. I want to be on the same page with them. I'm never gonna say that I'm gonna be better than George St. Pierre, than Khabib. No, I don't. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to be best. The best is myself. But I don't want to be like. I'm not. I will never say like, oh, I'm gonna be better than George St. Pierre. No, maybe I will, but I'm not trying to.
Yeah, yeah. It's also hard to compare with other generation, right? I mean, UFC today, I think there are maybe less characters than there was in the past. Like I would say George St. Pierre, that generation of fighter, but the level of competition is so high. I think it has never been so high in the past. So it's hard to compare, to be honest. Would you like to headline an event, a UFC event in Turkey?
100%. This is the dream, because I don't really think that UFC is gonna make a UFC event anytime soon in Turkey. But if I would love to be a main event.
Yeah, well, you never know because they're going to Azerbaijan. So
Yeah,
why not?
yeah, Azerbaijan are neighbors, and Turkey and Azerbaijan, very, very good communication. We basically are the same nation, the nation. So I would love to fight in Azerbaijan too, of course. And being in main card or main event, anything, I would love to fight in Azerbaijan. They're still my people, you know.
Pretty cool. Thanks, Jamal. That was my last question. I really appreciated our talk. I think you are a great prospect, and I'm pretty sure we will see you in the UFC. I don't know when, but I think we will see you. And yeah, you're a great character. You have a lot of skills. I hope you stay on that path, and pretty soon we'll see you on the bigger league.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Take care, and see you soon.
All right. See you.